please allow me to bring to you a few interesting quotes from the Islamic scriptures. Number 1. Slavery. The Abrahamic religions never had any major issues with slavery, and Islam was not alone, and I'm sure you're aware that even the Prophet comprehensively practiced it. The Quran also explicitly gave Muslim men the right to have sex with their female slaves. Surah 33:52. It is not permitted thee to take any other wives hereafter, nor to change thy present wives for other women, though their beauty charm thee, except slaves who thy right hand shalt possess. In fact, the Prophet's son Ibrahim was born from Mari al-Kitabi, not one of his 7 wives, but his slave. Mari was actually an Egyptian Coptic Christian who was a slave gift from the Muqawqids, a Byzantine official, to the Islamic prophet Muhammad in the year 628. Number 2. Racism. Ibn Hajim, Volume 6, page 469. The master does not have the right to force the female slave to wed an ugly black slave if she is beautiful and agile, unless in case of utmost necessity. Or its general mistrust of Jews as illustrated by these points below. Surah 5:51. O you who believe, do not take the Jews and Christians for friends, they are friends of each other, and whoever amongst you takes them for a friend, then surely he is one of them. Surely Allah does not guide the unjust people. Say Muslim 26:5389. Or as the Prophet said, do not greet the Jews and Christians before they greet you, and when you meet any of them on the roads, force him into the narrowest part of it. Or Surah 570. As you clearly see, the Jews are cursed till the end of time. Allah tried to help them. If they are cursed, then it's certainly not their fault. Why not lift the curse, instead of treating them as inferior human beings and also punishing them in the afterlife? Why should people be judged and punished on the actions of their forefathers and not on the actions of themselves? Rape. Madudu, Volume 1, page 319. See also Surahs 4:3 and 33:50. And forbidden to you are wedded wives of other people, except those who have fallen in your hands as prisoners of war. It rather shockingly shows that Muslim jihadists actually had sex with captured and enslaved women, whether married or not. In the following passage, Hummus is the war booty, a tax that is 1/5 of the spoils of war. Bukhari 5:59. Ali, Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law, just finished a relaxing bath. Why? Ali had taken a bath after a sexual act with a slave girl from the war booty. Prophet's response to the person who hated Ali for this sexual act: Do you hate Ali for this? Don't hate him, for he deserves more than that from the war booty. Number 4. Violence. The Quran is filled with many threats thrown at non-believers, but the Quran said that it is Allah who causes people to believe or not believe. Surah 7:177. He whom God guideth is guided, and they whom he misleadeth shall be the lost. Surah 76:5. We have prepared chains, collars, and a blazing fire for the Kafirs. Surah 16:95. Had God pleased, he could have made you one people, but he causeth whom he will to err, and whom he will he guideth, and you shall assuredly be called to account for your doings. Let me get this. So if God can cause people to not believe, then why would he punish them when they didn't? Surah 9:5. And when the sacred months are past, kill those who join other gods with God wherever you shall find them, and seize them, besiege them, and lay wait for them with every kind of ambush. But if they shall convert, observe prayer, play the obligatory alms, and let them go their way, for God is gracious and merciful. This is another quote from the scriptures of what some might describe as the most peaceful religion. Surah 9:29. Make war upon those of whom the scriptures have been given as a belief not in God, or in the last day, or who forbid not that which God and his apostle have forbidden, and who profess not the profession of the truth, until they pay tribute out of hand, and they be humbled. Yet if they turn to God and observe prayer, and pay the tax, then they are your brethren in religion, We make clear our signs to those who understand. Surah 9:11 to 12. But if after alliance made they break their oaths and revile your religion, then do battle with the ringleaders of infidelity, for no oaths are binding with them that they may desist. In fact, the following quote was actually used to justify the September 11th, 2001 attacks. Surah 8:39 to 40. Say to the infidels, if they desist from their unbelief, what is now past shall be forgiven them, but if they return to it, they have already before them seen the doom of the ancients. Fight them against till strife be at end, and the religion be all of it God's. These directions from the Quran are effectively encouraging followers to coerce others into following Islam, even if they do not want to, either by tax or by force. Some might even argue that this is how Islam grew from Desert Arabia to the rest of the world. Number 5. Pillaging. After fighting, believers have a right to the infidels' houses. Surah 33:27. And he made you heirs to their land and their dwellings and their property, and to a land which you have not yet trodden, and Allah has power over all things. Islamic apologists will comb the Quran for good quotes and take it as proof that the Quran is peaceful. There is a quote in the Quran which says Muslims have their religion and other people have theirs. This is fine until you find in the Quran it says other religions may exist with Muslims, but they are to live as second-class citizens by in effect paying taxes to Muslims. Surah 9:29. Fight those who do not believe until they all surrender, paying the protective tax in submission. It makes me wonder how Muslims would feel if they had to pay a separate tax to the Christians for living in the West.